EastEnders fans were left in tears after a devastating visit to Walford on Thursday, April 23, which saw Ravi Gulati, Aaron Thiara, sectioned after attempt to take his own life. The popular character has been struggling with his mental health for months, with Priya Nandrahart, Sophie Khan-Levy, determined to get him the help he needs after she discovered that he had been self-harming. The situation escalated rapidly earlier this week when Ravi, convinced that his enemies were out to get him, obtained new locks for the flat he shares with his partner and their kids Nugget, Juhaim Rasool Chowdhury, and Avani, Aaliyah James. Priya was concerned when Ravi wouldn't let her leave, as were Avani and Nugget when they stumbled upon the new locks. Ravi broke down when confronted over the bruises on Priya's arm, which he'd unknowingly inflicted during a nightmare, and he subsequently confirmed that he was the one who accidentally attacked Nugget. With emotions at an all-time high, Priya successfully managed to secure her freedom by telling Ravi that they'd leave Walford together, but a crash ensued on the way to the hospital, leaving everyone in need of medical attention. Ravi was devastated and thus he left the hospital and made his way back to the square, where he stood on the edge of a bridge, attempting to take his own life. Priya watched in devastation before attempting to talk Ravi down, making him see that he is still very much loved. Nugget, meanwhile, raced to support his dad, begging him don't go in emotional scenes. Ravi reconsidered and broke down, hugging his loved ones with all his might. The police subsequently arrived and sectioned Ravi, who will next week receive a diagnosis of complex PTSD. The episode in question received praise from fans, particularly the performance from Ravi star Aaron Thiara, who was nothing short of incredible. Metro reader Sharon saying that they actually cried when watching the episode. He is a great actor, and it's a great storyline. Men's mental health isn't addressed enough. Alwyn added, "This had me in tears. So real," while Linda said, "This has broke my heart to watch." Brilliant acting by Ravi and his family. "The acting by Aaron Thiara was exceptional," said Barbara. "The emotional scenes showing Ravi's mental health battle had me in tears." Debbie felt that the episode proves that EastEnders has really lifted their game. "The storylines are great and shows the versatility of the actors," they wrote. "Seeing this side of Ravi is upsetting and a true representation of a person struggling." It was a sentiment that Ann agreed with, commenting, "It's great this storyline allowed the actor to show his talent. Not an easy part to play and must have been extremely difficult and draining for him." Next week, Ravi will begin therapy sessions following his diagnosis. In a week packed with heartbreak, secrets, and emotional confrontations, EastEnders delivered one of its most powerful episodes in recent memory, leaving fans across the country admitting they had actually cried as the emotional scenes unfolded in Albert Square. Viewers are no strangers to drama in Walford, but this particular episode struck a different chord. It wasn't just the explosive arguments or shocking revelations. It was the raw emotion, the quiet pain, and the deeply human moments that made audiences stop scrolling, put down their phones, and truly feel every second. Social media quickly erupted after the episode aired, with fans calling it beautifully written, devastating, and one of the best episodes in years. Many admitted they were left in tears, praising the cast for delivering performances that felt painfully real. At the heart of the emotional storm was a storyline that had been building for weeks. A family pushed to breaking point, years of resentment finally spilling over, and one heartbreaking goodbye that nobody saw coming. The episode centered around a powerful confrontation between loved ones torn apart by betrayal, grief, and guilt. Every line felt heavy, every silence louder than words. Characters who had spent months hiding behind anger were finally forced to face the truth. One particular scene stood out and immediately became the talk of the fandom. A heartbreaking hospital bedside moment that left viewers shattered. As one character sat quietly, holding the hand of someone they feared they were losing forever. There were no dramatic speeches, no over-the-top music, just silence, tears, and regret. It was simple, honest, and devastatingly effective. Fans flooded X, formerly Twitter, with emotional reactions. "I actually cried. Like proper tears. That scene broke me. This is why I'll always love EastEnders. When it gets it right, nothing else compares. That hospital scene? Award-worthy. Absolutely heartbreaking. I wasn't prepared for that goodbye. I'm still emotional." Many viewers also praised the writers for allowing the story to breathe, rather than rushing through the emotional fallout. Instead of relying on sensational twists, the episode focused on grief, forgiveness, and the painful reality of things left unsaid. That slower pace gave the performances room to shine. The actors involved delivered some of their strongest work yet, with subtle expressions and quiet breakdowns hitting harder than any dramatic shouting match ever could. A single look across the room carried years of pain. A whispered apology felt more powerful than any public confession. Longtime fans noted that the episode reminded them of classic EastEnders, the kind of storytelling that made the show legendary in the first place. Not everyone watches soaps for explosions and cliffhangers. Sometimes the strongest episodes are the ones that reflect real life, the moments of loss, regret, and did exactly that. It reminded viewers why they care so deeply about these characters. Because behind the affairs, feuds, and family secrets are people trying, and often failing, to hold themselves together. Another major reason fans connected so strongly was how relatable the storyline felt. Themes of unresolved family pain, fear of losing someone too soon, and struggling to say "I'm sorry" before it's too late resonated deeply with audiences. For many, it wasn't just entertainment, it was personal. Several fans shared their own stories online, saying the episode reminded them of real experiences with grief and family heartbreak. Some said it made them call loved ones. Others admitted it brought back memories they hadn't expected to revisit. That emotional honesty is what made the episode stand out. Even viewers who had drifted away from the show found themselves pulled back in. I haven't watched properly in months, but tonight reminded me why EastEnders is iconic. That was television at its best. Not just soap drama but real storytelling. Whoever wrote this episode deserves every award possible. There was also praise for how sensitively the show handled difficult themes, avoiding cheap drama and instead focusing on emotional truth. It felt respectful, grounded, and deeply sincere. As the credits rolled, there was no flashy final twist. Just the weight of what had happened and the feeling that nothing in Walford would be quite the same again. And perhaps that's why it hit so hard. Sometimes the most unforgettable episodes aren't the loudest ones. They're the quiet ones, the episodes where characters finally break, where truths are spoken too late, and where love exists in the smallest gestures. EastEnders proved once again that it still knows exactly how to deliver those moments. With future storylines already teasing more fallout, fans are now bracing themselves for what comes next. Relationships have changed forever, trust has been shattered, and some wounds may never fully heal. But for one night at least, the focus wasn't on what happens next. It was on pain, on forgiveness, on saying goodbye. And judging by the reaction from viewers, it was unforgettable. In an era where television often chases shock value, EastEnders reminded everyone that sometimes the most powerful drama comes from something much simpler. Honesty. No huge stunt. No wild twist. Just heartbreak. Just humanity. And yes, plenty of tears. For fans who actually cried, this wasn't just another episode of EastEnders. It was a reminder of why they fell in love with the show in the first place. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to EastEnders Spoilers Official.